What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hope Shot. It's been a
Hi,
while. Let's see if we get one. Let's see if we get one.
guys. Welcome
Oh
back.
man, it's been a while. We are trying to ramp this thing back up, and we are excited to ramp it back up because it's gonna be a good time, right, Christina?
Yes. Yes.
Right, Tiffany?
Tiffany's muted. Right,
That's
Bob?
right. That's right.
George.
Back to the basics.
Right, Bob?
That's right, sir.
Yeah. Well, before we get started, let's read our clarity statements and nobody gets it twisted. And clarity statement is it's been a while, it needs to load. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common: recovery is a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. And thank you for being a part of our family. And we mean that. And we missed you. And all three of you. And man, we're just gonna do some check-ins today. Just checking back in. We're gonna try to get this thing ramped up every Wednesday. With stories, some stories, and then some topics. And tonight's gonna be a little bit topic. We're just gonna check in. I got Bob with us and Tiffany. They have graced us with their presence and wisdom. Right, Bob? Wisdom.
Absolutely. Lots of wisdom here.
So what's up with you, Christina? How are you? What's going on? What you got?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm grateful to be here. Grateful to take it back to the basics. We really missed you having this thing, and I'm glad that when you called me and said you were going to put it back on, I was like, yes, yeah, because that's where the Hope Shot started. To relate it to my life, I'm going on, I don't know, 7 years in recovery, 6.5. Let me just say 6.5, and it's true what they say. We start getting our life back, and we start not doing the little basic things that we did in the beginning, and I find myself in this moment a little disconnected from my higher power, a little disconnected from my recovery. And it's showing up in areas with, my partner's going through a hard time right now. There's a lot of things happening. He lost his father yesterday. And I noticed that I'm struggling being able to be like a comfort to him, right? And what it's triggering is like my own grief and the things that I had to put in place to get through when my baby brother passed away 2 years ago of cancer, and what that did to me, and how I kind of just I've always had to kind of push through. I've never really had an example of real comfort starting from a young age. So it's hard for me to comfort others. And in fact, I find that I can probably comfort strangers better than I can comfort the people closest to me, which is really weird. Don't ask me why, but just vulnerability is hard for me, and it's even harder when I have to witness it from other people. It is weird. So, and I don't know if that has to do with my disconnect or the work that I haven't really done on myself. I think, people pull up triggers, right? And we have to make a choice whether we're going to avoid it or whether we're going to recognize the parts of us that are being triggered and the parts of us that are still unhealed. And I had noticed this like a year ago when my grandmother had passed away. So when my brother passed away, it was so devastating to me. And then when my grandmother passed away last year, I was already so numb. I remember not really being that sad. I mean, I guess I was sad. I was sad for my mom because she had lost her mom and her grandma, she had lost her son and then her mom so close together. But I remember not really being able to feel that emotion, right? And it was because of what I had to do to kind of push down the emotion and what it did to me when my brother passed away. So these are just some things that are coming up. And I noticed, like, you know, I had to catch myself today being very like selfish and self-centered, and you know, kind of got called out that like I wasn't being very loving and compassionate, because like there's one thing to like be not be able to comfort people, but I could still be loving and compassionate, right? And I was finding myself not even being able to be loving and compassionate, just really stuck in self. So you know, I'm grateful that today, to a certain extent, when somebody calls me out on that, I'm able to like stop and look at it, right, and not get immediately defensive, to kind of see like, yeah, okay, you know, I'm hearing what you're saying, and being able to see that. And I was, you know, so I was able to, you know, apologize right away. But it's still, you know, it's still kind of troublesome to me that I can't like find that, that, or feel that ability to like, to be comfort, to be like a source of comfort. Like I almost feel like I'm like recluding, or, you know, like, recluding back into self, you know, almost as if like feeling that grief is going to bring up my own grief, you know. But it's still like when I get to these moments, right, where I'm acting out, I always have to like go down this checklist of like what have I been doing for my recovery, right? And if I go back, I mean, like I've been being of service, but I really haven't been doing the basic things that you're supposed to do for your recovery. Like I haven't. I'm stuck on making my list for. I'm stuck on making my list for like people I've harmed, you know, and I'm stuck on. I haven't really been going to participating in fellowships and meetings and stuff like that, and I haven't been like doing my grateful posts, and I haven't really been, you know, connecting with my higher power. So for me, that's where I'm at. So like I'm basically telling on myself. So I'm grateful to be here, grateful to like telling myself, and hopefully be held accountable from you guys, my friends. And yeah, this starting this podcast back up is just a great reminder of like taking it back to the basics. Like sometimes we get so big, right? And we're just seeing this big, huge picture of what we want and what we want our future to look like, that we forget about what took us there and how we got there, right? And sometimes we got to reel it back in. So I feel like it's a great opportunity for the Hope Shot to kind of go back to the basics, because we've been doing some great things. I mean, we got some big things in the works, and Justin, I'll leave that for you to talk about if you want to, but I'm super excited to be a part of it. And even for me, like if I'm going to be beneficial to the people that we work with, I got to take it back to the basics too. I got to make sure my recovery is intact before I can help somebody else with their recovery, you know? So just a grateful reminder that like, you know, you can always stop right where you're at. When you see you're veering off the path a little bit, you can get back on it, right? It doesn't mean, you know, doesn't mean that you can't, you know, retract those steps and correct, right? So that's really all I got. Thanks for letting me share.
Yeah, that's great, Christina. It's like, it is true, man. You got to get back to the basics, man. If you're good at getting back to the basics, man, you never have to go totally backwards. You know what I mean? You don't have to start from square one. You're just going back to the basics, what got you there. That way, you know, you don't throw it all away for some temporary stuff, you know, some temporary feeling. Yeah, good stuff, Christina. Thank you for being here, and thank you for pushing me to helping me to get back to the basics as well, you know, because I love doing this, man. It's one of my favorite things to do. I loved, you know, going on and mingling with people and talking about recovery. It was such a highlight in my life, you know, and it still is, you know, to talk about recovery and growing and being, and you know, the emotional sobriety of everything, you know, and that's what it's all about. You know, I talk about it all the time, but I'm gonna say what's up with some people, because we have your boy Bob. Who that is? Said who?
Old age, I am wisdom.
Oh, Jeremy, he's catching up, bro. Better watch out. He might.
Yeah.
Crystal, what's up, Crystal? We got Katie. Good to see you, Katie. We got Rudolph. What's up? Good to see you guys. Katie says, I love you guys. So glad I stumbled upon this. Well, I'm glad everybody's here. what's going on with you, Bob? How's everything in your world?
Yeah, good, man. I've been going to meetings, unlike Christina.
You
Yeah,
might have to get close.
I think one of the best things for me right now is, step writing. New step writing group that we have in our area. I mean, and that's really got me off my high horse to actually pick up the pen and start writing, man. And I'm like, just because you got clean time, it doesn't equal recovery sometimes either, And I'm like, I was taken back pretty bad yesterday. I mean, Christina, I mean, sorry for George's loss, but I mean, that's something we have to deal with. And I'm like, I lost a rock legend yesterday, man. And I'm like, I don't mean to talk about it, but I mean, like, I was pretty bummed out, man. I haven't been bummed out that bad in a long time, man. It's like, remember when I was a kid and Elvis died and I didn't understand what was going on. I think I was only like 7 or 8 years old and like everybody was crying. And I'm like, I almost felt like that yesterday, and brought back some emotions and stuff. I'm like, I grew up, it's like one of your, somebody that I admired my whole entire life passes away, man. And it's like, it brought out some pretty emotions in me, man. I'm like, I got choked up pretty bad yesterday, and it's one of those things, man. I've learned to deal with it. I didn't go out and use over it, but I mean, those feelings are there, man. And I'm like, they come out, I never had those feelings when I was using, I knew how to bury those, man. It just, I just bury them in my addiction. So today I feel things, man, and that shit hurt, man. I didn't go out and use over it, man. I just dealt with it and I talked about it, and I'm talking about it again today, man. And that's what we do, and get back, the step writing too. I mean, that's definitely that's helping me quite a bit. I mean, I'm doing my second round of steps and learning what makes this guy tick, especially the 6-step stuff and becoming aware of my character defects, man. And that shit freaking, I'm aware of them, but I still act on them, and I'm learning, and I'm like, I can have compassion for people, and I've shared about this in many meetings. I'm a road rage junkie, man, and it's like, I've learned that, what, it's not all about me. The people on the other side of the field, they got somewhere to be too, just like I do. And I don't have to be a complete asshole about it, and that's one thing that I've definitely learned, and that's all through recovery, and I want to change. I want to be a better person, that's why I have a sponsor and I talk to him and I do step work, and change is good, man, especially when I'm doing something wrong, and all I know is today, I mean, it's just a little bit better than I was yesterday, and as far as the hope shot, this whole thing, Justin, is amazing, man. And it's like, there's people out there that, they want to help people, but they're in it for the money. But other people are in it to help the people, and it's awesome when you see that because, like you said before, we had a recovery house at one time, and that was huge, man, and I'm like, I wanted to help people, and that's what we do, is we help people. And there's a lot of people, I mean, moving down here from Connecticut, and you see there's a lot more people for sure down here that, there's also more people, but reaching out to those people and getting them to the right places, and when I serve on H&I, and I'm like, I get guys, I go into the prison, and I got guys in there that are always asking me, what do I do when I get out? What do I do when I get out? And I'm like, I feel bad for some of these guys because it's really, I mean, there's no vehicle. I mean, I could tell them to talk to people, inside the jail, like the officers, most of the officers, they don't give two shits about anybody that's in there, and it's kind of sad, man. It breaks my heart, man, to watch these guys knowing that they're going to go right back to the place they came from, and we need to step up a little bit, and that's why I do like going into the prison, and I telling these guys that there's another way to live, because you tell them, you can tell somebody till you turn blue in the face that you really need to go to that first meeting when they get out. Well, I mean, if they're going right back to the toxic situation, which they really don't have no choice to go back to, they're just going to end up in this, it's a revolving door, man, and it's real sad, to know that, and I had a guy a couple of weeks ago when I was in the jail. I mean, he was pleading with me, but there's really nothing I can do, man. I'm like, I can't really give the guy numbers or something. They won't let him take anything back into the pod with them. So they're kind of, they're at the mercy of Pasco County, and it really sucks at that point. But I mean, I know they're trying to do some more reach out programs in there. They started a STAR program, which I'm hoping that, some of these, facilities are going to get mentioned to them. So I don't want to keep giving you pokes at the hope shot, man, but that's, kind of why we're here too, man, because we want to find that bridge from the people that are getting out of there to get them back into society, you know. And it's one thing I've learned too is, I mean, you know, when you get out, you're gonna have some rules that you don't like, but you have to follow them. I mean, that's society. You know? I mean, we were out there we broke all, you know, and it takes a lot to relearn all those, you know, retrain your mind and do some step work to become a better person. And that's the key right there. If you can start being a better person, you know, then you're gonna find the path, go with the different opportunities, you know. And well, you know, the hope's gonna give you that hope, right? Absolutely. But like I say, man, today is, you know, a dreary day, but I mean, tomorrow the sun will come out. You know, I live for today and see what happens tomorrow. I can only plan for tomorrow so much, but that's God. Thanks, bro.
I appreciate you, Bob, man. Thanks for coming on here. And that's what about, you know, it's funny because I was just talking about assets and defects today because, you know, we live in those defects when we're out there using, just living in them. But it's funny because like in recovery, man, I really never knew that it's an asset that's gone too far. You know, it's it's an asset that's gone too far. I was like, oh, that's the story of my life, going too far, you know. Because that's a big thing that I talk about too, man. It's like that pendulum swinging, man. You know, even if it's healthy or unhealthy, it doesn't matter what it is in my life. I will abuse the shit out of it. I will go too far with anything, you know? So, you know, I was talking about it earlier. It's like the defects, man. It's like turning our defects into assets and see what we come up with. Because, you know, I was at this presentation on Tuesday for the opioid settlement funds, right? We're one of the people that are awarded those. And the one thing about us is, man, we've taken our defects and turned the assets. And what does that get us? We are one of the ones that are like number one with what we got going on with this grant, you know. So we're number one. I'm gonna say number one. We're pony boys, you know. So we do everything correctly, man. We're like figuring it out, like to where everything's on point, you know. And when we change our lives and put it all into recovery and put everything that we can to change those behaviors that got us in addiction, you know, we change those things start becoming our assets, and then we start using them for good, for powerful stuff. Like I believe that addicts are one of the most powerful people if we could just harness our energy and our power and just drive that mofo, you know, in the right direction. We are unstoppable. But we have to get out of that mindset that we're nobody and nobody wants us around, and that victim mentality. And as soon as we get out of that victim mentality and use that stuff and harness that power, it's over. You know what I mean? I think that's a lot of times people scared of that, but but it's true, man. It's true. When we harness our power, man, because we are powerful beings, if we can take that energy and put it towards good. And that's what I've been freaking, you know, really focusing on. Is like, I do have so many qualities and such drive, you know. One time I said that probably, and I shouldn't, but I was like, hey, you seen what we did for bad stuff. Imagine what we could do for good stuff. You know what I mean? Like, yes, with little, like we're very resourceful, very, driven individuals once we use it for something that's positive. We just have to change the mindset and the perspective and shift it. You know, it's just a slight shift over in this direction, man, could bring us just a degree. You know, if you did 1 degree in a like if you're driving, right, and you just shift it 1 degree, it takes time, but eventually you're going to be in a whole different place from where your destination was. You know, and that's what you have to think. It might be a small thing right now. It might be a small smidge of nothingness in your world right this second. But those little things will add up. That little, you know, little degree, little half step, little quarter step, whatever it is, over to the left or the right. And you could be in a whole different place and you just don't know it. And that's something we have to focus on. You know, we are just too scared to jump. You know what I mean? And it's not even a big jump. We think we have to make a big jump. Rudolph knows all about that, you know, and it's like you have to have that list. It could be just the tiniest little change, just the degree, and you can be in a whole different place with a whole different ball game and just loving it, you know. and then you're not even in your where you thought you would end up, and you're in this whole different place. You're like, holy shit, I've been scared this whole time to make this little baby jump, and it wouldn't even take much, but all those little baby jumps add up, and then next thing you know, man, you're in like this awesome place doing this awesome stuff, and then here we are on a podcast bringing it back, bring it back, you know. So and that was the name of the game today, you know. It's the assets, the defects, the defects, the assets, you know, and we all have it. So I'm gonna say what's up to some people, and I want to hear from Tiffany. See what's up with Tiffany since she came back.
Yeah. She was driving, bro.
Let's see. Let's see. We got Helen. What's up, Helen? Oh, we missed you too. We did. We missed you. I missed you. Katie says it was Tupac and DMX for me. DMX, yes. I so wish I had the farewell concert with DMX, because that's my dog right there. It's the same. And then we got Jessica. What's up, Jessica? Good to see you. And let's see. Helen says we all need a little nudge. Yeah, we all do need a little nudge. And we got Jeremy says, one step on faith can move mountains. Yes. That's it. Let's see. Direction over speed. Yeah. Yeah, that's it, man. Slow and steady wins the race. You know, I've been saying that lately too, man, because we're like, we want to pounce on things like, you know, and it's like, I do it all the time. I want to get it all right now. Everything has to be done this moment. Pace yourself, Justin. Wow. Calm your ass down. Go sit in a corner somewhere. You know? Sky, what's up, Sky? Are you in the driver's seat? Are you over there driving? I see you. I see you. What's up, Tiffany?
Hi. Sorry about my connection. Driving down
bro.
Life on Life's terms, couldn't get back into the studio. How is everyone?
It's all good.
A little bit. So yeah, assets and defects. I definitely could have came out of my ass a little bit with not being able to connect. Not you. So we had to pull over just so I can get on Racetrack's Wi-Fi. But
we appreciate you.
Well, no, Christina gave me a message, and I was like, no, I got plans after work, and then it was a massage, and the whole time through my massage, I'm like, why don't I just log on? Why don't I? You know, because it was like today's kind of like a big day for me. 5 years ago today, I went into the hospital from an OD, and I almost didn't go into the hospital because I was so worried about them judging me and like seeing all the marks on my arm, and I didn't want that judgment. But I did. I went, and they said if I would have waited 30 more minutes, I probably wouldn't have made it. But, like, even though that wasn't the last day and time, like I did use, it was a big wake up call, because it just took a month and a day later where I did stop. So like today was like it didn't even dawn on me. Like, it's, for some reason, the 23rd of July comes in my head like every year, but it's slowly, like, later and later in the day, it's like hitting me of like what this day was. It was also a day that, like, the day I overdosed was, of course, the same day that we were signing a lease for an apartment in Pasco County to start our lives. And today we got to turn those keys back in. So we had a place for 5 years that got us to where we are today. So today's so incredibly. So I was thinking about that the whole time I was on the massage table, of like 5 years ago to where I am today. It's such a blessing. Such a blessing. Like, I couldn't even imagine that the life I have today was even a possibility, let alone a dream. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy, but not perfect and I make mistakes especially on my mouth with my words.
Not my princess. Not my princess.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm grateful
Oh,
that you
so-
went and checked yourself in and didn't let the things in your head hold you back from that hospital, because you wouldn't be here and be awesome.
I wouldn't be here. I didn't even know at the time that was an OD, because, you know, I didn't think that I don't know, like I didn't do the things that created an overdose. Like I didn't do that. But then, you know, like my sister was messaging me, and that's when she was trying to get me in recovery. And I'm like, no, it's my heart. It's my heart. Like I have a blockage. Complete denial. And she's like, okay, Tiffany, call me when you want to tell the truth. I'm like, it's my anxiety.
Oh wait, that's that song? My anxiety. Somebody's watching me.
Those delusions of like stories we tell ourselves, you know, and and even with what I went through, like it still took me at least like 7 months once I got in the rooms to even admit that I had a problem, because like I was here for my spouse. She had the problem. She is a problem, but she had the problem, you know, like, so I started going to Al-Anon because I was not an addict. And then, like, you know, I was sitting in Al-Anon and I was like, why are they talking about me like that? Like, that's not nice. But, you know, it's crazy. And of course, my first sponsor, RIP Ashley, you know, she got me to, she gave me the IP of the sponsor of Am I an Addict? And she's like, read this, you know, and I'm really, really grateful that she did, because that's the one time that I'm like, oh, okay, I'm the problem. So that was a big wake up call. But you know, with Christina, you being 6.5, 7 years, I'm next month 5 years. So
Whoop, whoop.
No fronts, I know.
None.
No fronts. I don't want it. I can't wait though. It's crazy. It's crazy. But like, just even this past year, I can't say that I've had a really good. I think that this year I wouldn't have gotten through it if I didn't build this and go through the things that I went through the prior years. Because we had a baby this year. So I've been slacking on working on myself, and I wouldn't say like I'm complacent, but like I'm struggling to find a way to incorporate work, motherhood, recovery, and you know, like now it's getting to the point where he's a little more vocal. So it's like, okay, well, I can't take him to meetings that have quiet time, because that's learn that lesson. But like it's got me through because of the things that I was taught through those earlier years. So I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah, they get vocaler, and then they grow up to be teenagers, and then shit's downhill from there. Okay,
Yep.
You get more gray hairs. They have bigger stuff they need. You got to get a second job. I mean, there's so many things.
They crash out. They crash out like every day. Like, I'm about to crash out.
I crash out every day because I'm like, oh my God. Like I prayed for him for 15 months, but then it's like, what did I get into? But no, it's good. I think me and his toddler years, we're going to do great. This baby years, it's Mama Sky. But no, he's my blessing.
And this public service announcement: if you have been personally attacked by Al-Anon, you belong with us. We have a seat for you. There's no compensation.
God, those are hard. I was like, wait.
Yeah, that's really
Oh,
awesome,
good
Tiffany.
stuff.
I'm so proud of you. I just feel like, it's one thing to come into these to recovery, right? And you're always like, oh, I'm not doing enough. I should be farther. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And we get real, like, we miss like the presence and the blessings and like how far we've come. But when you get to see it work in other people's lives, right, and you get to see the growth in other people's lives, it's inspiring,
Yeah.
and it's what keeps me, working on mine. Like, especially when I see the people that when the ones that are real sick and suffering start making drastic changes, and then they're more spiritually fit than me, I'm like, oh wow, yeah, I got to get to work.
And so,
I'm sick and suffering.
But I'm so proud
sometimes.
of you. I'm so proud of you.
I am. I'm proud of myself. Like I've learned this year to like put the bat down and give myself a break, because it's not a race, So like I do try to remember that. I know my sponsor is probably not super thrilled about it, but like I'm getting there. I'm still in it. Like I'm still here, but I'm only letting myself down by not doing the work that I need on myself. So like I'm super proud of
There's
you.
no prizes at the end.
No.
So no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's that's what I was talking about that today too. It's like we talk about the basics, right? Getting back to the basics, or because if I always get back to the basics, I never have to go anywhere else, right? But the one thing is like, never forget where I came from. Always, like, after a while, man, recovery just becomes the norm, right? And it becomes this like infectious thing inside of you that, when you're off, it's not turning to the other stuff. It's turning to the right stuff. It's the basics, right? That is my new pickup. I know when something's going on. I know what to do. I know what I have to do. And that's when I up some things. I really ramp up some things. I ramp up my meetings. I ramp up my phone calls. I ramp up my step work. Like, still till this day, I make sure that I am so busy. You know what I mean? But if I know that if I don't make that a priority or something that's incorporated in my week, I'm freaking screwed, man. And all the stuff that I have worked for, and I'm not talking about materialistic things. I'm talking about the shit to where I can look somebody in the eye. I have respect. People look up to me. My kids look up to me. I get dad things all the time. Freaking yeah. See, I get bubbles with freaking thumbs ups. And so like those things are what I'm talking about losing. It's nothing materialistic. Take it all, because I've lost it and I've gotten it back. But those self-respect, that confidence builder, like the confidence, that alone is worth $1 million. You know what I mean? To be okay in your own skin is worth $1 million, hands down. It's better than the lottery, I'll tell you that. And the only thing that's going to get me there is doing the work, doing the step work, doing the going to the meetings, meeting with the sponsor, whatever's going to float my boat. Spiritual readings, meditations, whatever's going to float your boat. Whatever's going to drive you to get out of self and do things, service work. That's the stuff that's going to bring me there. Not anything that I can buy online or on Amazon Prime. It's
Prime Day.
Can't be shipped to my house next day. I'll tell you that. It takes work.
Service work is super important. I'm grateful for service work. I think it's hands down the one thing keeping me, like, no matter what, always. Like, I am super grateful. That's an option.
So I've always contributed service work as what kept me connected, right?
Yeah.
Until I was able to get out of my own way and start doing the work again, right? But I eventually, service work just isn't enough. You know what I mean? Like, I was just doing service work over the weekend. And then, I also just came to the realization that even though I work in recovery, it doesn't equal the work. You know, you can be around recovery, you can be around people in recovery, but if you're not working on your personal recovery, and I'm going to say this, I had a sponsor before the one that I have now that she said to me, if you're not working on your recovery, you're working on your relapse.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was like, no, I'm, you know, like, how dare you? Like, you don't know me. But she's absolutely right. Right. Because like, it's like you know, if you're not taking a step this way, then you're taking a step this way. And like the longer you go without working, you are closer to the relapse. So yeah, it makes perfect sense. And now it's, I took a phrase that kind of like tugged at me a minute, it like offended me at first because there was truth to it. Right. And now I use it all the time. And like, I do this all the time. Like I'm always sharing about this. Like I always get into these funks and then I have to pick myself back up again and get back to work, you know? And then it's like almost like when we take medication. It's like we take medication for something, right? We start feeling better and all of a sudden we don't want to take our medication anymore, you know? And so that's what it's like. So service work is always kind of, thank God for it, because it had me showing up and keeping my commitments. But it came to a point where it wasn't enough either. But it did keep me connected until I was able to, I just got miserable just enough to start, you know, doing some work. And like for me, the work starts first thing in the morning. Like I have to wake up first thing in the morning and really align myself and connect myself with my higher power and like immediately ask to live in my higher power's will and like for the guidance, right? And if I miss that one step, my day kind of can get derailed so quickly, right? And I feel like that's what I'm missing. It's that moment where I just first thing when I wake up, I don't grab my phone, right? I don't come out and make me a cup of coffee, right? I don't like all these things, and I just stop for 1 second and be present in that moment and start my day, right? Connected to my higher power. And like, there's a lot of things in my life that I've just been really just like not taking as serious as they should. And things, my priorities, right? And I'm so grateful for the awareness that I'm able to like recognize them, right? And I don't try to like blame my irritability and my discontent on other things. Like I immediately know, like when I'm off track, I immediately recognize what I need to do. It just kind of takes me a minute to get there. And I just kind of share like this until I'm so sick and tired of listening to myself. Right. And then I finally do something about it. I mean, just for today, I finally get around to doing something about it. But I'm there, guys. I'm there.
I do envy the fact how you do share. I do. I look up to that. I'm not the sharer. I'm not the speaker. But like I do value like listening to when other people I look up to you like when you do, because it's
Like you can look up right now.
like people need to
It's a story of a lovely
I look up the
lady.
Bob.
I'm
The Brady
Yeah, we
Bunch.
can count on you.
where I am today. Like, it is so much easier for me to let it go, and letting it go, knowing that like no matter if I stress about it, no matter if I cry. I mean, I cry a lot, but no matter, like, it's not going to change the outcome. So like I've learned to let it just accept and let go a lot easier today.
Like Frozen. Let it go. Let it go. I like the other one.
Step 3, let
like
it
the other
go.
one. Yeah.
Oh,
I like the other one.
remember
Fuck it.
Fear to step 3, and you're like, that's my favorite.
It was the most momentous thing I've ever done in my recovery was my 3rd step, man.
I understand.
I learned how to let shit go, you know, and I practice that every day, man. And I'm like, because when you hold on to that shit and you're freaking trying to control a situation, when you try to control something, as soon as you start trying to control it, what's the first thing that happens? Anger comes out. That's why you get angry, because you're trying. Anytime you get angry, you basically draw that right back, and you could see that you were trying to control that situation. That's where anger comes from. And think about it for a minute. I mean, 90% of your anger comes from trying to control something. If you go back to the basics, like we were talking about, I mean, you just, if you learn to let that shit go, and I'm like, yeah, when I first came in, I could not grasp that, and then at the time, but the best thing they ever told me, I mean, it was like, it's like you take all your problems and you put them in a balloon, a bunch of balloons, and you walk outside and you let those fucking balloons go, and that's all. That there it goes, man. I'm letting go. It's that easy, man. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's not my will, it's God's will.
That should be
That's the way
enough.
I live my life today. Is that I'm not saying I become a doormat. I freaking I try to prep things so that the next day I'm going to be ready for whatever's coming my way. But I'll guarantee you, like everything that I manifest in my head never comes true. And it may come close. I mean, I'm manifesting tomorrow I'm going to win the lottery. Maybe I'll win $5 if I buy a scratch ticket. I'm like, I still won the lottery though, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
At the end of the day, I think it's one thing for I talk about it a lot, man. I go to bed at night, say my prayers, I make peace with God, put my head down, and all my problems disappear. I fall asleep like that. And I mean that's huge, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I came into recovery, no way. I was my buddies used to call me, you freak train brain, man. Your brain going, I'm like, everything was just spinning and it was just ludicrous in my head, and like you were saying, like you come in and it's like everybody tells you, you got to do this and you got to do that. I'm like, I remember like 6 months clean and I finally started thinking, and I'm like, I didn't understand anything you all were telling me, and I'm like, I don't say this is God's honest truth. I mean, I thought the chairperson was the person that put the chairs out at the meeting. I mean, that's how up I was when I came in, man. And I'm like, I know what a chairperson is now. It's just messed up, man. And I'm like, sometimes we need to tell the newcomer, this is H&I, and Mike, Mike F is like, he's noted for doing that. Telling people, try checking out H&I or PR. I mean, nobody ever said that to me when I was new, and I'm like, I wish they had, because I would have. It's a while for me. We come in, we're broken. Your head ain't working right. I mean, at least for this addict, this is my story. Like I mean, I came in, I was broken, and I'm like, I was really broken, man. And like I say, it's 6 months thoughts, and I mean, clean thoughts where I actually knew what was going on in my life, and by the power of this program and God, I'm like, I'm still here today, man, and I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't give this up for anything, man. Anything I could do to help a newcomer now, or that's why I said in the beginning, each night is a big part. I mean, I go into clean once a week, which I absolutely love. I mean, these guys go in, and I love it when a new addict's asking me questions. What can I do? What do you suggest? Should I get into sober living, or should I go here? And one thing that we always tell people, and I'm sure all you guys have all been in there before, is that go to a meeting the first day you get out. That is, if you don't go that first day, it's just like anything else, man. You're not going to go. I mean, it's just, they say that there's a statistic you may go the second day, but realistically, let's face it, if you don't go that first day, I don't know about you all, man. If I don't start doing it, I'm not. That's it. I'm moving on. I'm an addict. I do my step work, man. That TV show looks really
Bob.
good. I don't think I'm gonna do my step work tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, your mic's going in and out.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. I don't know. I figured I have to say something to you so you know.
We'll go like this.
Did it work?
Is it working?
No.
She's saying yes.
I'm trying to get the thumbs up thing.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
We got
It's
fireworks.
a Mac. Yeah.
Oh,
Laser beams. Lean, put your face on the keyboard. Rudolph knows exactly what's up with it. Do it. You gotta do it.
I know.
Perfect.
Did it work?
Nope.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
You're such a liar.
All right. Hey, man, this is some good stuff tonight. It was definitely a good start to getting back in the gear. And as you can see, every Wednesday, 8 p.m., we're going to go live.
Justin, you're echoing. We're all echoing.
I know why. No, we're not. Now we're not. Yeah, so we're gonna go every Wednesday, 8 p.m. We're gonna go live, and join us. Hopefully you can. It's not gonna be Sundays anymore. We are bringing it on Wednesdays. So we'll have different stories, and we'll share some topics, and hopefully you guys get something out of it, man. We really appreciate everyone's support all the time for this podcast, for the Hope Shot. We got some big things happening here in the near future, some crazy stuff happening, and crazy good, I think.
Yeah.
Right, Christina? Crazy good?
Yeah. Yeah. And
What's
let
that,
everybody
freaky
know.
good?
Yeah.
Freaky
let
fast.
everybody know, like, obviously we picked come up with the topics or whatever, but we want to know what they want to, what they want to hear, what they want some experience, strength, and hope about too. And we would love some suggestions.
Definitely. And then if you guys are in the Newport Richey area next Wednesday, we have the
Dine and donate.
Dine and donate. Thank you, Christina. We have the Dine and donate happening. Oh, that's till 8:00. So we might be a little late next week. All right. But we have the Dine and donate at Texas Roadhouse on State Road 54 in Odessa. At 10% goes back to the Hope Shot. If you have to bring in the flyer, which is all over the Hope Shot. So you will find it if you do your research on the Hope Shot and find the flyer, save it, show them after you eat your meal. We'll be there, for the whole time, just probably eating a bunch of stuff and getting fat and sassy, because they got good rolls, really good. And it's hard not to eat them all, I feel like it's a contest sometimes.
I have some of the fried pickles.
Yes. So if you guys want to come out and support the Hope Shot, 10% goes back. You just got to show the person the flyer. You could have it on your phone. Just save it. And we really appreciate the support. And we will see you next Wednesday right here on the Hope Shot. Love y'all, man. Have a great night. Peace.